Hi, welcome to part 2 of this week's video. It's July 15th and I decided to record in 2 shorter segments. I think it makes it easier to watch if you're doing something and you have to run and take care of a kid, or run and go to the beach, or run and buy groceries, whatever. A lot of podcasters do like hour-long episodes. Nothing wrong with that. Sometimes I'll sit in the evening and watch a bunch of those. But I think it's easier to break it up. So that's what I'm doing. And it was a natural segue because I had to stop and pick up a project that I had started last night. And the reason for this project is because, again, I was frustrated with that Hobby Lobby Dye Works leaf sweater pattern. Because I divided the stitches wrong. My fault, not the patterns. So, a couple of weeks ago, I have a male cousin that lives in Washington, D.C., and his wife is originally from the Philippines. Very nice lady, very nice couple. They're expecting their first child. They had gone on a vacation to Europe, and then all of a sudden the last picture was at the Arc de Triomphe, and she did the classic pose of the Arc de Triomphe is in the background and she puts her hand on top of it. And it was the only picture where you saw her fully. The rest of the pictures had been like from here up the entire trip, at least the ones they put on Facebook. So, and they said, oh, by the way, coming soon, a baby. So that's exciting. It's their first child. And so, being the good cousin I am, I immediately messaged my cousin and said, what do you and your wife want for the baby? And I got a list of, we'd like a blanket, we'd like a sweater, we'd like a hat, and we would like mittens, because the baby is due around Thanksgiving. That's late November here. And so I had last summer, if you remember, gone to Canada and gone to the Spinrite Factory outlet store that's in Listowel, Ontario, and had bought a bunch of stuff. This was one of the things that was in the tent sale. This is a yarn that's called Pipsqueak. This is a very large skein of this. This is 250 grams. There's the info for you. Polyester. So it's I want to say it's a 5. Yes, it's a 5. It's a bulky. It's really cool. The texture is like this. If you've ever felt one of those soft, really, really super soft teddy bears, that's what it's like. You could just squish the skein. So I knew there's patterns on this, but I was like, I can't see me trying to crochet with this because it's so fuzzy that I think it would be difficult to see the edges. One of the patterns that is available, I think that's on there, it's actually on the label, is this one maybe. It's really hard to see because it's super light colors. But they do a corner-to-corner blanket on their website too. That's also a free pattern. I'm just finishing up this row so I can show you what this looks like. So what I decided to do was to do the old, if you've ever knitted one of those diagonal dishcloths, you can totally use that pattern for a baby blanket. And it's great for a baby blanket because if you only know that you have 2 skeins of something, then you start down here at the bottom and you knit. The pattern for that is knit 2, yarn over, knit across the rest of the row. That's how you get this triangle part. And then the decrease part is knit 1, knit 2 together, yarn over, knit 2 together, knit all the way across the row ad nauseum. So you do all the increases. So I do all the increases with 1 skein of yarn, and then when I run out of yarn, I start doing decreases. But I like the way this is coming out. The colors are kind of cute. They're having a girl, I found out. Although I would have done gender neutral stuff. And this color happens to be called Sittin' Pretty. Sittin' Pretty. I don't know if it's a discontinued color, current color, but I got this, I can't remember how much I paid for it, but I have 4 skeins of this. So I may use all 4 and just make a really big blanket. And I'm using size 10.5 needles, which I believe might be a 7.5 needle, but these are just, you know, old Boy or Susan Bates. I think they're Boy needles, because that's what I had, and they're pretty tough, just going back and forth. This is super, super soft and squishy, and it's really easy after you're watching TV and you're frustrated with a sweater. I'm not making a sweater out of that because I think that's a little bit difficult. What I found in my stash was this. This is some really old Simply Soft by Karen, when I don't even know how much is in this skein. I'm maybe 200 yards, something like that. It was when they were still based in North Carolina. I think they might still be, but I don't know that. And this color is called English Rose. I don't know that that color is available. It's kind of it's not bright pink. It's kind of that, actually it kind of matches this salmony calico pink in there, which I didn't realize until right now, so that's kind of cool, because my aunt, who's passed away, has actually made that blanket, which would have been the baby's great aunt. And this is Tigger, who's helping. See? Okay. Tigger, who thinks she needs food, and who's wearing her lovely collar so that she doesn't get fleas or ticks. Prescribe my way back. Let's see. The other thing I am working on is a new project, and it is a handkerchief. This is a set that I bought from Hirschner's. Well, it would have been originally from Hirschner's. I bought it from somebody who had it on eBay or Etsy. The original thread that came with it was a 30. 30 in crochet thread means it's really, really thin. It was like using sewing thread. I wasn't going to do that. I got very, very frustrated with it and was like, oh heck no. Down. Thank you. So I went to Joann's today and bought this because it was on clearance for $2.97, which is a 10. A 10 is much thicker. They consider it a lace weight, and I guess you could use it as a lace weight. It's blue, light blue. My friend's sister is getting married, and I said to her, I'll do a edged handkerchief for you, because then you've got something new and you've got something blue. And the old rhyme is, you know, something old, something new, something borrowed, something blue. So this would cover 2 of those. And I'm just doing a really, really simple edging. I think this is a single crochet, skip 2 little holes. They're little teeny tiny holes, and then you chain 2 in between, and then on the corners you're doing single crochets with 1 chain in between. And then I'm going to do sort of a scallopy thing. I've been watching a lot of videos on the internet today. Part of this goes with this tag. This is Irish linen, hemstitched in Portugal. I don't know why Portugal is a place where all of this is done, but I've watched a lot of videos that are about edging handkerchiefs in Portuguese today. There's a ton of them. There's a bunch from India too, I believe, and some from the Middle East. I'm thinking because of the cotton, you know, and the linen, it's, you know, a hotter climate. So something like this would be nice with that kind of South American weather is all I can figure. So I don't know why. There's somebody can clue me in. Maybe I don't know a lot about Portugal other than I had a friend. I think I knew somebody from there at some point in my life, but I'm not sure. So I have wowzers. I am really tired because I'm thinking of Brazil with Portuguese, not actually Portugal, which would be in Europe. Pardon me, it's a little warm. I might need a little water. So anyways, I'm working on this handkerchief, and I'll probably be doing some scallops on that later. The other thing I pulled out to work on a little bit this week, when I say little bit, it's probably 3 or 4 rounds, is my Christmas cast on from this year, which is the Carlos and Arne Regia Perfect socks. This, I can't remember what this color is, but it was Christmassy at the time. So this is the, when you start out, you can only work from the top down. The colors that are here are built in. This is showing up way bluer because we just had a cloud pass over. This is actually like a forest green. So then, so I'm doing this on Magic Loop with my carbons, which are Knitter's Pride needles, and it's a 2.5 because that's what I had. And it's working up really nicely. Eventually it'll go back to the dark green. Basically you start doing the toe when you hit the dark green. I don't know how exactly that works, but you kind of look for your size. So you might be doing a couple of rounds of dark green before you start an actual toe. And then there'll be this yarn, which is like a bright yellow. That'll tell you when the end of the one sock is done. You might not necessarily use all the yarn up to that yellow line, but then what you do is you cut that yellow yarn out, and then you start the second sock right after that yellow. And then the idea is that you're going to get 2 perfectly matched socks. So you're going to get perfectly matched. And it's really simple knitting. Looks complicated. The yarn's printed like that. I don't know if you have any new sock knitters out there who are like, well, what's a good commercial yarn? Regia is a very good commercial yarn. Arne and Carlos are really, really hysterical. They do English and I believe Norwegian videos. They're hilarious, but they're also like very knowledgeable. One of their books is Christmas balls that they made. So you get a cat. How lovely. Yeah, I see you. I'm thrilled. And then the last thing is something I'm working on. So she's helpful. You want to be on camera, huh? This is something that I also saw from the Smells Like Knitting podcast, which was the Comfy Cotton Blend. This is a Lion Brand yarn that is, I'm going to say it's half and half. It's 50% cotton, 50% polyester. And this colorway is called Cloud 9. It's got blues and some purples in it. I think it retails for about $6 at Walmart. And I got 3 balls of this. It's 392 yards. How many meters? 358 meters. And it's a number 3, which is like a DK weight. But it's interesting the way this is constructed. I'm going to kind of hold it up here to the camera with my face out of the frame. It's like that. So it's like one strand of ecru wound with one skein of color, one ply of color changing yarn. It's more than one ply. Let's see. The ecru plies, there's 2 ecru plies and there's 2 multicolor plies that are wrapped around each other. It's not a super tight weave. It's basically like dishcloth cotton almost. They have a couple cowl patterns that are on their website, but I thought, you know, I can make myself a cute little top. I was going to use some other yarn, and I just can't see myself doing it. And this is a Patton's book, pardon the cover. It's been a little abused and had stuff spilled on it. This is Patton's, that's the ISBN number, so you can find it if you need to. I want to say I paid $5 for it maybe a long time ago, but you can order it, and some of these patterns are available free now. I don't know if this particular one is. It looks like that. There's a little ruffle there. It's basically a sleeveless shell. Pretty easy. The silk bamboo is kind of prohibitively expensive for me. And I was kind of worried about how it was going to wear. It fuzzes up even on the samples when you knit, when they have a knit sample square hanging from the shelf. The colors are gorgeous. I love the purple color that's in that. But I think this is going to work because silk bamboo is a 3. And this is also a 3. And silk bamboo has, bamboo and cotton are kind of similar. So I think that'll work. So that's it, I think. I think the only thing left is a dishcloth. And that's just because I had a dishcloth hanging around. I had some peaches and cream. This color is called, does this color have a name? Nautical Ombre. So this is like a dark blue, a dark red. Comes out like that. So they're very nautical colors. And I'm just using some Hobby Lobby wooden needles that I have that are pretty short. So as you can see, I have a lot of projects. I skip around a lot depending on how I'm feeling, what's going on. And that's all there is to it. And hopefully now I'm going to go over to the friend's house and use their higher speed internet, because they totally let me do that when I go and visit, like we're on our phones or whatever. And that'll help cut my upload times, because my upload times are a lot here. I have like the cheapest internet that you can possibly have, but I still stream stuff. I also wanted to show you this. This is kind of a cool thing. I bought a boy convertible crochet small set a few years ago at Tuesday Morning. It's kind of cool. It comes with a handle that's got a thread on it. And then it's got like a little itty bitty cut in there, and you put the tip in. The tip has a little piece on it, so that goes right in there. And then you screw this little screw top down, and you can change out the sizes. So this is a, I want to say a number 7 steel crochet hook, but it's really nice because that way I don't have to buy a million little crochet hooks, and I can put the set back and it doesn't bend, it doesn't, you know, get lost or anything. So I'll work on that handkerchief with that, and it works really well. It doesn't come unscrewed or anything. It was, I think when I bought it, it was $5 because it was at Tuesday Morning. Normally it retails for $20. So the cat and I are going to say goodbye. And she's asleep. Good night, cat. Okay, that's it. Have a great week. If you want to, go join the Knits Up Ravelry group and show me what your projects are. I would love to see them. Thanks, guys.